With just $200 in my pocket, I left home after my parents gave my college fund to my brother. 10 years later, when they needed investors to save their company, they didn't know I was the billionaire they were meeting. I was 18, sitting at our dining table with acceptance letters spread everywhere. Harvard, Stanford, Princeton. My hands shook holding the Princeton letter. Mom, Dad, I got in. Mom's heels clicked across the floor, but her expression was off. Dad loosened his tie. Sit down, Kathy. We need to talk about William. My stomach dropped. William, 4 years older, already on his third failed startup. Each time they'd smiled and funded the next dream. His renewable energy project shows real promise. Dad said, he needs significant capital. I nodded slowly. That's great. But what about my tuition? The silence stretched forever. We've decided to invest in William's company. Mom said, you can take out student loans. How much? My voice came out as a whisper. Dad straightened his glasses. All of it. $289,000. Every birthday check. Every tutoring dollar. 18 years of savings. Gone. Did you even ask me? I stood up, chair falling backward. It's my money. Dad's voice boomed. That is enough. This is what's best for the family. What about my vision? I shouted. Go to your room until you can be rational. Mom said coldly. I walked upstairs, but I didn't cry. I packed clothes, laptop, documents from my sock drawer, the $200 I'd saved from tutoring. Through my window, I saw William's Tesla pull up. I could hear him downstairs, that charismatic laugh, Mom's adoring tone, the golden child collecting his handout. I opened my laptop and wrote 2 emails. First to Princeton declining, second to my parents. You made your choice. Now I'm making mine. Don't look for me. I climbed down the trellis, feet hitting the ground solidly. In my pocket, $200. In my head, a 4, 0 GPA, and a lifetime of being second choice. In my heart, determination to prove they'd made the biggest mistake of their lives. First week, I slept on a friend's couch. Got a coffee shop job at $9.50 an hour. At night, I taught myself coding using free courses. 3 months in, I built a productivity app. Sold it for $50,000. Didn't celebrate. Reinvested everything. Year 2, hired developers, built inventory software, hit $200,000 revenue. Year 5, 23 employees. 8 figures annually. Finally bought a decent car. Year 7, went public. Opening day, I was worth $340 million. I thought about that $289,000 they gave William. I'd built 1,000 times that. From $200. Year 9, Forbes 30 under 30. The article said I was famously private about family background. I never mentioned the Montgomerys once. Last month, my assistant scheduled a 2 p.m. Montgomery Industries, seeking $15 million. Company's in trouble. My heart stopped. Montgomery? Father-son operation. Desperate. We're their last shot. I wore my Armani suit, the one that cost more than my first year's coffee shop salary. Sat at the head of our glass conference table. At 2 bows, they walked in. Dad with his worn briefcase. William looking tired, older. Mom trailing behind. Dad launched into his hitch, eyes down. Thank you for seeing us. Montgomery Industries has developed. Then he looked up. His face went white. Papers slipped from his hands. Catherine? Mom's voice cracked. I smiled. Professional. Cold. It's Ms. Montgomery now. Please continue. William just stared. His revolutionary technology never materialized. Dad had mortgaged their house to keep funding him. They'd burned through everything. Dad stammered through the pitch. Needed $15 million to avoid bankruptcy. The company William built on my college fund was worth less than 0. I let them finish. Took notes. Asked pointed questions about their burn rate, failed products, questionable decisions. Then I stood up. You once told me William had vision, that I should sacrifice my dreams for the family. I gathered my papers. Turns out I had vision too. I just needed $200 and no one holding me back. I walked toward the door. This meeting is over. My investment committee doesn't fund failing ventures led by people who don't recognize talent. Catherine, please. Mom started. I stopped. You taught me something that day. Sometimes the best investment is in yourself. I walked out. Their last investor just closed the door they'd slammed in my face 10 years ago.